Okay, a frog is sitting on a stump 3 feet above the ground. He hops off the stump and lands on the ground 4 feet away. During his leap, his height, h, is given by the equation, and they give us the equation. I've highlighted that. That's the equation we're going to use. Then it says where x is the distance in feet from the base of the stump, and h is in feet, h being the height. So let's go ahead and highlight those as well. So we've got x is the distance in feet from the base of the stump, and h, our height, is in feet. Okay. So they want to know how far was the frog from the base of the stump. So that would be x. We're going to be finding x. When he was 1 and 25 hundredths feet above the ground. That's an h, that's a height. So what are we going to do here? We're going to take this equation and we're going to rewrite it. We are finding x. They've given us h. So h we're going to replace with 1.25, and then that's going to equal negative 5/10 x squared plus 1 and 25 hundredths x plus 3. Okay, we need to get everything on the same side, get it set equal to 0. So let's go ahead and work on that. We will subtract this 1 and 25 hundredths from both sides. And of course the ones are over here, so I'm going to combine it with this like term. I just wrote it where I did because of where the room is. So now we have 0 equals negative 5/10 x squared plus 1 and 25 hundredths x. And now, if we take 3 and we subtract 1 and 25 hundredths from it, well, let's see, subtract 1 from 3, we get 2. Take 2, subtract 25 hundredths, we're going to get 1 and 75 hundredths. So let's show that math over here for a moment. Let me change colors so we're not confusing. So if we have 3 and we subtract 1.25, decimal points have to line up. I'm going to put in zeros here. I haven't changed the number, it's still 3. $3 is $3 whether you show the cents or not, should we say. Okay, so let's do the subtraction. Well, we have to come all the way over here to borrow, so we turn that into a 2. This becomes a 10. We have to borrow from that, turning it into a 9, and turning this into a 10. So now 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 2 is 7, there's my decimal point, and 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 and 75 hundredths. Okay, so now so we can see it, we need to put this into the quadratic formula. I've got an A, a B, and a C to put in. So, minus 1.25 plus or minus the square root of 1.25 squared minus 4 times negative 0.5 times 1.75. Square root of all of that. and it's all over 2 times negative 0.5, or 5/10. Okay, now they tell us that we get to use a calculator. So first of all, to simplify this, let's deal with what's inside of the parentheses first. And let me move this on down some and extend the page so I've got room to work. So first part, let's go ahead and combine those. So we take our calculator and we're going to do, let's see, okay, 4 times negative 0.5 times 1.75. 1.75. And so that gives us negative 3.5. So let's go ahead and write what we have now. We have negative 1.25 plus or minus the square root of 1.25 squared minus, and our calculator told us it is a negative 3.5, minus negative 3.5, and that's all over 2 times negative 0.5. 0.5 is 5/100ths, 5/10ths, which is 1/2. So on the bottom we've got negative 1. Let me show you on the calculator. 2 times 5, make that negative, equals negative 1. Okay, so let's simplify it yet farther. Come on. Just on the page some more. So let's see, we need to do some squaring and then some subtraction. So when we take this 1.25 and we square it, we multiply it by itself, times 1.25, that equals 1.5625. Okay. So now we have that, and then those two are going to cancel out. So we're going to take that and we're going to add 3.5 to it. Plus 3.5 equals 5. And let's go ahead and take the square root of that while we're at it. There's our square root. So now we have negative 1.25 plus or minus 2 point, and of course 25 over negative 1. Okay. So now we break this apart into two problems. One of them, we have negative 1.25 plus 2.25 over negative 1. And the other one, we have negative 1.25 minus 2.25 over negative 1. So let's go ahead and we'll start off by combining like terms here. We take 2 and 25 hundredths, subtract 1 and 25 hundredths, and we get 1, and that's over negative 1. And that, of course, equals negative 1. Over here on the other side, negative 1 and 25 hundredths minus 2 and 25 hundredths. Well, that's going to give us negative 3 and 5 tenths over negative 1. And you are welcome to use your calculator to verify that. And so that would equal then a positive 3.5. So now we have x equals negative 1 and 3.5. We now need to look back at the original equation to see what makes sense. Original problem. Okay, so we are finding how far the frog was from the base of the stump. Would it make sense for him to be negative 1 foot? No, a negative number doesn't make any sense. We need a positive number. So our answer is 3.5, 3.5 or 3 and 5 tenths. And that's going to be feet.